It's zusammen vom Lebensgersten. Yeah, yeah, it's zusammen vom Lebensgersten. It's like they took someone's collection of life from all over the galaxy, like a child's butterfly collection. Only some of these butterflies are not so friendly. Hello, huge movie fanatic Nate, stopping on by, once again coming at you for one of my famed Blu-ray reviews, having already reviewed this movie a couple years ago rather extensively. I think my review of this movie was upwards of an hour long. I'm a big huge fan of this kind of schlock alien ripoff movies, so a couple years ago I did a big nearly hour-long review of it. Also around the same time I did this video about like a certain number of movie titles that are overdue for Blu-ray release, and this movie was actually probably at the top of my list on that video. And I think you know, it was kind of a fun little thing to see what the hell out of all those movies that I name dropped in that video a couple of years ago. It was kind of fun to see, you know, what was going to be the first movie out of all those titles to end up coming out on Blu-ray, turns out. And this was the top movie, I think. It was either this or you know, the Blu-ray release, hopeful future Blu-ray release of Summer Camp Nightmare. But I think this one was the top movie on that list that I wanted to see. Released on Blu-ray, I'm coming at you to review the still relatively recent Vinegar Syndrome release of Creature on Blu-ray, aka The Titan Find. This Blu-ray release, for me being a big, huge Creature fan, was a huge revelation when I found out about this. I don't remember when I found out about this. I want to say it kind of came out quietly in December or something. I may have not found out about it until January or February. I waited for the price to kind of go on, you know, go down a little bit, and then I'm like, ah, hell with it. I'm sick of waiting. I want to bite on it and see it. And now having seen the Blu-ray release, I'm coming your way, obviously, to talk about it. And oh my god, what's really cool about this release, if you look at the what they call, I don't know why they're calling it additional information now, but it's, I think this area is generally called like special features or something like that, but now it's called additional information. On the back here you can see newly scanned and restored in 4K from its 35mm original camera negative, and that would be the theatrical cut of this film entitled Creature. Then we've got alternate feature-length Titan Find Director's Cut, and incidentally, that it's a completely different scan. Unlike with the, you know, they were able to actually scan the original camera negative in 4K for the theatrical version of this movie, and with the director's, you know, longer extended cut by the name of The Titan Find, obviously, and negative didn't exist for that or whatever, so they just scanned in 2K some just archival print or something like that. And I gotta say that detail of including both versions in high definition from two separate, you know, film sources is really cool. Obviously, you know, the first time I ever saw the Titan Find version was 2 years ago when I got the kind of that burn-on-demand widescreen DVD that was, you know, being sold online, and that was really fun to see additional bits and pieces of scenes from the film and additional extended gore and stuff like that. That was really cool, and to finally have the movie in widescreen and stereo and stuff. So what's really great about this release is obviously it features both the theatrical cut known as Creature and then the extended cut known as The Titan Find. And I was kind of worried, you know, before I actually saw this on Blu-ray myself, having seen screenshots, screen grabs of the you know, the 4K scan from the original negative, I was kind of worried. It was like, God, it seems really bright. I worry that a lot of the lo-fi, low-budget, chintzy-ass, you know, sets are going to really kind of, you know, be able to just see too much. And you know, actually, when I watched this, I watched the Titan Find first, so it's the 2K scan from just some archival film print. And I do have to say, like, having seen both of the versions on this Blu-ray, that, you know, I do prefer that the Titan Find to Creature just because it's extended and has a, you know, like extended gore and stuff like that. But I almost kind of prefer that version on this Blu-ray as well because it's so much more darky, or darky. I was going to say dark and murky, it came out darky, but dark and murky, and you know, things aren't so easy to see. So I would, you know, part of me, like, if you never seen this movie and you trust me so much to just blind buy stuff based on my you know, recommendation or whatever, part of me, if you did buy this Blu-ray without ever having seen the movie before, part of me would watch the Titan Find first, because it's kind of, in a way, the way I think this movie should almost be presented more so than the 4K super duper bright version that's featured. The 4K scan from the original negative of the theatrical cut by the name of Creature. It's almost like, although it's beautiful and gorgeous and super clear and sharp and bright and stuff, like, I don't know, part of me is kind of like, wow, you know, it's some of the stuff is almost potentially too bright in my opinion. When I'm, you know, talking about the 4K scan of Creature from the original camera negative, when I was watching it, I was like, oh my god, like, are the dark scenes gonna be too bright? But I was happy to see when we finally got into the more spooky kind of sections of the movie where they're, you know, in dark corridors, or the, you know, the dark exterior on the planet or whatever, that, you know, stuff that is intended to be more dark on the more dark side is still in fact dark, which I was glad about. But yeah, I mean, let's face it, in my opinion, although the you know, the 4K scan of the original negative of the, you know, the theatrical cut by the name of Creature, it looks really good and sharp and stuff. In my opinion, I don't know, the bright stuff, it might just be a little too bright, and you know, I'll probably plan on more or less watching the Titan Find on this Blu-ray more than Creature, because not only do I, you know, enjoy the extended bits, extended scenes, extended gore, but I also kind of think the way the Titan Find is presented on this Blu-ray being much more dark and murky, or, you know, dirky, whatever I said earlier, is maybe a better way, you know, to present this film, or the way that this film should be presented, being a relatively low-budget movie. Like, the less you can see of the hokey, like, Creature and the hokey sets and the hokey special effects, possibly the better in this case. So it's really cool when, I've said this before, and you know, when Blu-ray reviews and with movies that actually, you know, feature, you know, like the Blu-ray version of Just Before Dawn that features theatrical and extended cuts. It's just so cool to be able to get two versions of the same film from two different film elements. It's so, you know, I really love releases like this. That's really cool. And, you know, a lot of times, sometimes, you know, one of the versions might be standard definition, but what's, you know, even more cool about this version is both versions of the film are in fact in HD. You know, one scanned in 2K, the other scanned in 4K, so it's a really, really cool package. In addition to the, you know, stellar video presentation on this Blu-ray, obviously this Blu-ray features for both versions of the film, Creature and Titan Find, a wonderful, you know, stereo surround soundtrack, which is pretty much the first time I was able, probably a lot of people, maybe it's first time being able to actually hear Creature, the North American theatrical cut, in stereo. That DVD, widescreen DVD of Titan Find that I got a couple years ago was in fact in stereo, and that was the very first time I ever heard the movie in stereo. And this movie honestly has a really good kind of soundtrack, kind of an Alien ripoff kind of a music and stuff like that, really nice music and music cues and stuff. So, you know, it's really great to finally experience it in stereo. So I can definitely say that both versions, obviously, both versions featured in stereo. First time I've ever been able to experience the theatrical cut Creature in stereo, and you know, yeah, I mean, I mean, it's just 2-channel stereo. It's not 5.1. It's not the most amazing sound in the world. It's not going to blow your home theater away. But I'd say, you know, the ambient kind of noise, you know, like the thunder, lightning stuff on the planet, and mostly that showcases the music really well in stereo. So that's just another added bonus of this release. Also here under additional information, we've got Finding Titan, the making of Creature, an extended making of documentary featuring special effects artist Doug Beswick alongside actors. Well, you can read the actors right here. That little, you know, retrospective making of thingy where some of the, you know, people involved in the making of the movie, the special effects guy and some of the actors and stuff. Unfortunately, some of the actors are interviewed via Skype, of course, which is a bummer. They're just low frickin' video quality is a bummer, but I guess I'd rather have that than not hear from those actors at all. But that was really cool, you know, hearing from some of the actors and their experiences in the movie. The woman, incidentally, who plays Susan actually does still look pretty sexy, honestly, so that was really cool. I'm pretty sure her interview was actually a decently filmed in-person interview, high-quality video interview. So it was, you know, for my money, we kind of heard maybe a little too, you know, not enough from the woman who played Susan, but it was cool to see, you know, what little bits and pieces of interview from Susan that they did show, and I'm also grateful that that, you know, her interview wasn't via Skype and actually high quality video interviews. So, you know, the little bit of, you know, just retrospective, you know, whatever, just you know, people who worked on the movie talking about their experience with this movie was really fun, and just seeing people's, you know, listening to people's memories and stuff like that about the movie was really cool. We've got Space on a Budget, an interview with director William Malone. That's just basically, from what I remember, just kind of an interview with the director himself. From what I can remember, it's a high quality video interview. It's not a Skype interview, and you can tell, you know, some of the actors that, you know, more or less probably the female actors, but some of the performers that are interviewed for that other video talk about William Malone just being like a teddy bear and just a really sweet and gentle, nice kind of a guy, and it definitely comes across in the interview with him, and it's just he really seems just like a nice, down-to-earth guy. And honestly, I could kind of tell that even just watching the movie. You could tell that he's just a big sci-fi geek, you know, with incorporating some actual props from Forbidden Planet into this film, and not only that, but some dialogue from Forbidden Planet into this film. And, you know, apparently, I can't remember if it's he or someone else. It might have been him. It might have been him who owned the, you know, a replica, or the screen used Robbie the Robot or something like that. So the interview with him was really cool, and he definitely seems like an all-around nice kind of guy, which, as I said, I could kind of tell that just by watching the movie, because it's just kind of like a geek out fest, you know, on film, just a tribute to so many of the science fiction movies that he must have loved, you know, growing up, you know, being younger and stuff like that. So that interview was cool. We've got a commentary track with the Hysteria Continues, which I never listened to these things, reversible cover artwork, and English SDH subtitles. Delving a little deeper into the reversible cover art option, obviously the Blu-ray comes like this, with the original theatrical poster for the title Creature on the front facing out, as it were. Incidentally, this is my favorite artwork of the two, and the artwork that I'll be having facing out, but at any rate, you get the option for this particular artwork or this artwork, which I'm not very familiar with. I don't think it would be newly commissioned. It's possibly international artwork or something like that. Basically just showing some ghouled out, zombified frickin' space guy in a space suit with the little space suit bubble broken and him being all zombified. And yeah, honestly, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen this artwork before. It's kind of a funny tagline there. Pray you find it before it finds you. But definitely kind of, you know, it obviously kind of showcases what, you know, can and does happen to a certain extent in the movie, but I definitely prefer the, you know, the original theatrical poster artwork, and which was also the artwork that was used for the VHS release in North America. Taking a look at the disc itself, we see the original North American theatrical poster artwork and the, you know, the title as well, Creature, and then something I never thought I'd see but hoped I'd see one day, the Blu-ray logo on the same kind of a disc. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of the little, you know, kind of the blue band here, where they put the Vinegar Syndrome logo in the Blu-ray logo in that blue band. I don't really like that. I think that's a sloppy design choice. You could easily just print the logo and the Blu-ray, you know, Vinegar Syndrome logo and the Blu-ray logo just, you know, individually, separately on the disc. I don't really like that blue band that they put that, you know, information in, but life goes on at the end of the day. I'm just grateful that Vinegar Syndrome put out this beautiful Blu-ray release. So I guess that'll pretty much do it for this review. Very grateful to Vinegar Syndrome and glad that this is finally on Blu-ray, and not only on Blu-ray, but the two cuts of the film from two different film elements, both in HD, stereo surround, some fun extras, and commentary by Hysteria Continues if you're into that kind of thing, and original, you know, fun original cover art, goofy ass alternate cover art. What the hell more could you want, except I guess maybe a replica of Susan blow-up doll to come with this collection. I don't think that's available. I think just a limited edition slipcover was available with this release. No, you know, Susan blow-up doll replica in the nude, unfortunately. So I guess that'll pretty much do it for this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, we'll catch you on the next one.